that.
Well, as far as the tempo, we run two offenses. So when one offense run a play and we running back, getting the call to another offense coming. But as far as the speed and stuff, like, this LSU. So as far as receivers, we put one of our speed receivers in and let him run the routes. 'Cause, you don't find better players than what you do here. So, like, no offense to them, but, we got great players that can simulate exactly what they're doing. So we've been getting a great look all week. We get to do 15 bowl practices. So we're going to be more than ready. Coach Renner got a great game plan, and all we have to do is execute it.
What have you seen from that from Darryl Mack, their quarterback? I know he came in late in the season because they lost Mackenzie Milton to injury. But what have you seen from him and what he's been able to do with the film? It's kind of a limited window, I guess, because he's only had a couple games.
Yeah, I seen he found a way to win. I guess he did enough. I really ain't been focused too much in on him as in the type of offense they run. I've been so more worried about the offense that they run because, I feel like I can line up against anybody and, I can make plays against him. So if he's a guy that's going to run the ball, I can chase him down. I can kind of mirror him. Or if he throw a lot of three steps, the linebackers can get in the windows. So for the much film I watched, he's really did a great job in the couple games that he played. But, I feel like we got a great game plan to stop him.
Devin, as a defensive player, do you get excited when you look on the other side and it's a team that's high scoring? They have nation's longest streak of not just wins, but scoring 30 or more points a game. They go high tempo. As a defensive guy, you got to get excited that you can get out there and potentially shut those guys down.
Yeah, I think the number one thing is when you run such a fast paced offense, if you don't get the first down, then you're off the field in less than 30 seconds. So, if we do a good job with getting off the field, those guys will be on the sideline for a long time, and our offense will be able to do what they do. And hopefully, they'll be able to pound the ball all night and, make big plays in the passing game. And, we can go up and we can just keep, dominating and we can come out with a victory.
UCF's won 25 games in a row. They claimed the national championship last year. Has there been any talk amongst the guys about, kind of wanting to end that?
No, I don't think nobody really paid too much attention to it. But, we don't overlook them, as being a small team or anything, because what they have did in 2 years is really impressive. But, as far as the national championship stuff, we know who won the national championship. We got to play those guys, and those guys are probably 10 times better than this team. And that's just facts. They about to get ready and play in the semifinals tonight. So, we just, look at them as being, another great team that we got to face, and we got to, come with it, and we got to play 4 quarters of LSU football.
So before this matchup was set, what was kind of your perceptions of UCF? It sounded like you maybe kind of chuckled at that claim last year. Or?
Yeah, last year I really thought it was funny, how they was disrespecting Alabama. I feel like they wouldn't want to play them. Any team in the SEC, but, they beat Auburn last year, and that was really impressive. But, I feel like Auburn was a beat-up team because they played Alabama, Georgia, and Georgia 2 times. But, we ain't going to talk about that. But I don't know. I just feel like, they're going to get a great test with us, and this could be the national championship if they want to look at it like it. Because I feel like, we're a national championship team as well.
Do you think Auburn maybe wasn't motivated? You said they were beat up. Is that a factor? That people like to say that sometimes when so-called bigger school plays a smaller ball game. Maybe they weren't motivated. Do you think that played a role, and will you guys be motivated?
Now, I ain't going to say they weren't motivated, but I feel like they had just went through a tough stretch as far as SEC games. And, I play in the SEC, so I can tell you it's not easy going through a stretch of playing. The 2 teams that they played, it's not an easy stretch. And I know I played Kerryon Johnson, and he was not the same. When he got to the SEC championship, he was beat up. He wasn't the same player, but you see what he's doing right now in the NFL. So as he healthy, so it plays a part in it. But motivated, my team gonna be motivated. My team gonna be ready to get a win, and that all starts with the leadership. And we got great leadership on this team.
And you've kind of talked about UCF's pace and the tempo they run. Aside from that, what stands out when you look on the other side, and maybe some of the players that stand out to you?
I like their running back, number 30. He's a real great running back. He's fast. They like to give him the ball in space, and I'm ready for the matchup because that's going to tell me where I'm at as a player, because he's a smaller back, a kind of shifty back, and some people might feel like that I can't cover or something, but I don't think nobody feel like that. But I get to show that I can like do a little more than just go sideline to sideline and in between the tackles and make plays. So I'm looking forward to that matchup.
So how did why is LSU, in your words, motivated to win this game?
LSU motivated to win this game because with this game, this can be a 10-win season, and we'll win a Fiesta Bowl. I don't know if we got a Fiesta Bowl trophy back at the place. So if not, we can bring the first one back to Baton Rouge. And I mean, just for our fans, like, who wouldn't want to win? Like, I don't care who we play. We can play anybody. We can play them anywhere. It's the next game on the schedule, and you don't want to lose. Like, you can't get no more motivated than playing a game. Like, you playing a game. Let's get motivated. Let's win. Like, let's go out there and show the world what you can do. It's televised, so you don't want to, like, not come with it, and you about to be playing on national television and get embarrassed by another team, no matter if the team was UCF or Florida. It don't matter. It's the next game. So I really don't like all that, people trying to down talk another program, because at the end of the day, if you take every player on LSU roster and let them play for Louisiana Tech, it's still Louisiana Tech. But I mean, we just got to come with it on our mind, which I feel like we will, and we just got to execute our game plan, and we got to get a victory.
Well, I was talking to Michael and Foster Moreau yesterday, and they both said that UCF's coming in here to win another national championship. Do you believe that?
Man, I hope not. I mean, that's one of the most embarrassing things I ever seen. I feel like you get a chance to play in the national championship and you win the national championship, then you're the national champion. But until then, I feel like they got to keep gaining respect, and I like the way they're going about it. It's great. It's great media coverage for them, and that's all I know they're looking at it as a media stunt. But I mean, they've done a great job. I don't take nothing away from this team. Going 2 years undefeated, most teams couldn't do it, and they are doing it right now in the conference they're in, that's what the conference they're supposed to do it in, and they step outside the conference and get wins. So I applaud them, but they 25-0, and they got to play the LSU Tigers January 1st. So I think things can shake up a little bit.
So you weren't a huge fan of last year's claim national championship?
No, I know who won the national championship. I played the team who won the national championship, and they deserve the national championship. And if I'm not mistaken, they about to try to go compete for another national championship right now, today.
How does looking at this UCF team and preparing for them compare to preparing for an Alabama and what you see on film or some of those other SEC teams?
I say the only thing that I look at when preparing to play for UCF is the pace of the game and how many plays they play. Against A&M, we played 130 plus snaps, and that came with 7 overtime, and this team averages 90 plus snaps with no overtime. So that really stood out to me. But I think it's a thing that we can control. If we handle our business and we get off the field on third down, then we won't allow them to get in the 90 snaps. We'll keep them in the 60s, where we just about keep every team. So I feel like it's all on us and how much we execute our game plan, which is going to, control what they're doing.
So going off what you were saying a minute ago, do you think Alabama is going to be behind you guys and all of Alabama Nation kind of rooting for you guys to knock off UCF after what happened last year?
Oh, I don't know. That's a big rivalry, for us and them to be cheering for each other. But I think the SEC stands strong when it comes to bowl games, and I think there'll be, room for us. I got a lot of great friends on that team, and, that's what college football brings you. It brings you in sync with other great players. And, I know they want us to handle business just like we want them to handle business just for the conference, It's always great to have your conference dominating other conferences, just, so we can keep that little saying, like the SEC is the best and stuff. So I think they'll be silently cheering for us. I ain't gonna say they're gonna be all on social media saying "Go Tigers" and stuff, but we don't expect them to. We got our own great fan base that'll, be well behind us.
I know UCF has a great win streak, not to take anything away, but do you think there's, and maybe Auburn, I don't know if they were motivated or what happened last year, but do you think there's a sense that, they haven't really faced a real SEC caliber defense during this run?
I can most definitely tell you they haven't. No offense to Auburn, but I don't think Auburn defense is on our level. I feel like we're the best defense in America, and I'm saying that very humbly. And, you know, I'm going to forever say that, even though we got a lot of players out, which everybody know, like, we got a lot going on right now, but I feel like we'll be ready, and the way practice has been going, I know we're going to be ready. And that just give new guys opportunity to make plays and make a name for themselves, you know. And that's how I made my name for myself. Kendall Becker went down, and that's when Devin White stepped in the bowl game, got a sack against Lamar Jackson. I'll never forget it. You know, the Heisman Trophy winner that year. And I think a lot of new great young guys can do that as well. And I'm gonna preach that before the game, like, you know, it's your time. You know, what you gonna do with your time, because you can't get this time back. You only get one shot, so make the best of it.
There's some parallels maybe with that Louisville game. They were coming in with a great offense and quarterback, obviously, and you know, UCF has the same kind of hype coming into a game as well with their offense.
Yeah, but I think the thing that really helped us was, you know, when we got to the bowl site, it wasn't really about so much having fun. It was about, you know, destroying that offense, because we just kept hearing so much talk, how, you know, they can do this, they can do that, they score this many points, they do this, and we didn't want to be that team to, like, you know, get embarrassed by them. So, you know, we took it personal, and we went out and we made a lot. We accomplished a lot that game, you know, as far as a defensive wise game. And I feel like that we got to do the same thing with this team.
Is that kind of the same talk going on this week about is in a similar vein?
Yeah, it's the same talk. I mean, because if you don't do certain things, you know what can happen to you from watching film on this UCF team. So we just want to eliminate the bad things that we don't want to do, and we need to do the things that Coach Aranda wants us to do so we can execute.
You talked about the defense being the best in the SEC, but without guys like Greedy and Ed, is it still? Do you think it's still, even when the guys are stepping in, still the best defense?
Yeah, I think it's still the best defense, because I feel like we recruit the best players. And, you know, if I'm a guy that's sitting behind a Greedy Williams, not playing, when it's my time to get in, I feel like I'm going to have so much pride and, you know, stuff built up that I'm going to be ready to get in and help my team. And I feel like that I'm going to be fine on all cylinders, because I finally get my time to show what I can do. So I won't take it for advantage, and I'm gonna make the best out of it. So I'm hoping that's what the guys who were behind those guys, you know, mindset are, and I hope they come in and just do exactly what they're asked to do, and nothing more and nothing less.
Last question. I swear. You talked a couple minutes ago about you thought what UCF did last year, claiming that was kind of embarrassing. So does any part of you, because if they win this game, UCF wins this game, they're probably going to do it again. They're probably going to claim that national championship again. So does any part of you want to kind of shut them up?
Every part of me wants to shut them up, because they're the team we playing, but it's not really about the national championship stuff. It's more about we playing UCF in the Fiesta Bowl, which is a great bowl, and this a bowl that I want that trophy back in Baton Rouge. So that's mainly my motivation about winning this game.